Hi YouTube. I've been posting up lots of videos recently about my various kind of collections and things. I've done another fossil one, but this one's going to be specifically about fossils from Bracklesham Bay. So I'll just show you, this is my sort of cabinet of curiosities, if you like. So if you want to see what's in all the various cabinets, have a look at my other videos, but we'll concentrate just on fossils from Bracklesham Bay today. So if you have a look in here, these are sort of typical bivalve shells you can find at Bracklesham. Yeah, these are called Venericore, and if you're lucky you can find, you know, the two halves still joined together. You can find complete shells. They come in obviously various sizes. Now at Bracklesham Bay, sometimes the tide is right out, really low, low tide, and then the fossil beds are exposed, and you can literally just walk up and there will be like hundreds of shells and things exposed, and you can just take like a sort of a screwdriver or something and prise out the ones that you want for your collection. There's a little fossil coral here as well. This one I bought, I wasn't lucky enough to find, unfortunately, but that's a really nice one from Bracklesham. Yeah, so on the very first time that I went to Bracklesham, the tide was right, it was really low, and I found loads of fossils, and it was like a really brilliant experience. Second time when I went back, the fossil beds were not exposed, they were covered up with sand, and then you've got to go on the beach and find fossils, amongst the shingle and stuff. So but you can still find fossils, they're just harder to find. Right, so this drawer here is various teeth that I found. Ignore the light coloured ones, they're not from Bracklesham, but all these darker ones are. There are various species here. Some can be quite large. There are some quite rare teeth that you can find at Bracklesham. There's a shark's tooth called auriculatus, which is a big tooth with like a serrated edge. So I keep trying to find one of those, but I haven't got lucky so far. So yeah, those are all various shark's teeth, and I've identified, all these different types in these different tubs, but I can't remember what they're all called. I've got them all written down. Okay, this next drawer is ray teeth. So these are mainly from the ray Myliabatus, and you usually find them like this, just single ray teeth like this, parts of a ray plate. This one here I bought just to show what it looks like when they're joined together. I know this one I found. Did I find this? This one I found. This one I bought here. This one where they're sort of joined together. Sometimes you find, look, just little bits joined like that. There's a few more in here. So I have found a lot of these, but I've been to Bracklesham quite a few times, and sometimes I'll spend a whole day there where I'm kind of searching for maybe 5 or 6 hours, and I'll come home with a sort of a plate full of bits and bobs. Okay, then these are other bits you can find if you're really lucky. So these are, let's see if I can zoom in close enough. Can you see the sort of serrated edge ones? Those are parts of stingray barbs, or ray barbs. I don't know if they're specifically from stingrays, but they're barbs from a ray's tail, or a ray's sting, sorry. Then these long bits here are parts of like a fin spike. I think it's from a sort of a shark or fish called Hybodus, but don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to remember. Then here we've got various bones and things. The flat pieces are bits of turtle carapace, just the shell from the back of a turtle. These are even more obvious over here in this tray. Can you see the sort of bumpy texture? You get used to finding this kind of thing at Bracklesham, and you get used to that kind of the brown colour of the bone that you find there, either sort of brown or black. You can get used to the texture of the, like you see in this one, the inside of the bone where it's all sort of hollowed, you know, hollow air bubble type things, and you get used to this kind of, this texture here is turtle shell, where you can see the bumps of the scoots on the top. Okay, then I found this thing which is quite interesting. Still need to identify what this is from, but it looks sort of like bone, definitely a fossil of some sort. All kinds of bits and pieces. Oh, some of these are actually from Lion Regis, I've just noticed, bit like little fish teeth and things. Right, what else have we got? Oh, I was going to show you this quickly. Can you see this little pile of dust in the corner here? I need to remove this from my drawer. And what this is sometimes you find fossils at Bracklesham that are pyritised. So they basically, you know, they've been fossilised, but they're iron pyrite, like fool's gold. And what happens is it sort of oxidises with the air and it kind of rots away. So you might have a really good looking fossil, but over time it can completely kind of disappear, literally into this dust. Okay, sometimes if you're lucky enough you can kind of coat it with something to stop the air getting to it, and that can help, but I can't even remember what that fossil was, but now it's just a pile of dust. Right, this is a tray. These things here, they're like little flat discs. They're called Monolites, and I think they were like a sort of a floating kind of algae type thing, or a sort of solitary coral kind of thing that, yeah, just used to be found like on the seabed or floating in the sea. But anyway, I've collected a lot of these, as you can see, all various sizes. Some of them I've sorted into bags of different sizes, but every time I go, you know, looking for the shark's teeth and the ray teeth, I end up picking up loads of these at the same time, and they've just ended up in this tray here. What's quite interesting is when they get split open, inside they've got a sort of a really intricate kind of spiral pattern. It looks really nice, like under a microscope or something. So that's those. Then this is the other common shell that you find there. These are all obviously fossil shells. Sometimes you see them, when you first see them, you know, or you get a lot of people saying, but are they fossils, or are they, you know, they just look like normal shells? But you'll see that they're all this kind of distinct colour, kind of creamy brown kind of colour. These are all called Toratella, and if you notice, can you see the shape of this one where it's got a more sort of rounded bumps? Compare that to this one where they're slightly squarer edge bumps. And there are several different species. I think, you know, maybe 4 or 5 different types. So I've been separating them into different bags and grading them into different sizes. And look at these little mini ones here. So sometimes at Bracklesham I'll just take just a little kind of bag of sand home with me, from a place where I've been finding quite a few little kind of mini fossils. And then I'll take it home and I'll sort through it really carefully, trying to find all the sort of micro fossils, and that can be really good fun. But yeah, these Toratella, they're really common everywhere at Bracklesham. So if you were just to go to Bracklesham, even if the tide was, I mean, not fully in, you need to get to a bit of the beach, but if the fossil beds weren't completely exposed, it wouldn't matter. You would still find a lot of these Monolites and a lot of these Toratella, and the occasional shark's tooth and ray tooth, and a lot of these veneer core as well. It's a really nice place to look for fossils. I really like it. I'm slightly biased because it's my kind of closest fossil hunting beach, but definitely if you can get there when the fossil beds are exposed, it's even better still. Okay, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos if you like this sort of thing, because I've got a lot of different collections on there. and subscribe, because then any new things that I put up you'll be able to see straight away. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video.